See, there are three aspects. One, distribution. Earlier, it used to be cable. Then came the DTH, and then came the in between. There was a digital TV via set-top box. Then came DTH, and then your OTT platform. If you see, the television boxes was this big. Now the flat TV is like very thin. It's like as thin. Similarly,
Right.
those boxes were very broad earlier. It is like going short and short. Now, your TV, your mobile can stream content on your television. You can, whilst I mean, I can switch on my TV on my command, on my voice command. On my voice command, my television channel will change the channel and it will show me the content that I wanted to watch. That kind of challenge is over. What is more challenging is the content generation, because likes of the people is changing minute by minute.
Hello everyone, I'm Jiten Singh, banker turned entrepreneur and author of the book Effect Mastering the Art of Selling. I welcome you to read my story where I interview authors, speakers, coaches, celebrities, entrepreneurs, and more. Today I have with me Mr. Amitabh Srivastava. He is an industry expert with over 3 decades of experience in media, radio, broadcasting, and digital marketing. He has worked with renowned media brands such as Times TV, MTV, BBC, TV Today, and Walt Disney in senior management roles. His expertise spans across radio, television, cable, and satellite industry, where he successful for various broadcasters in India and South Asia. Currently serving as a director of iMedia International, he leads tasks related to marketing, digital marketing, distribution, media packaging, channel distribution, international business development, and media research and broadcasting management solutions on a global scale. He has achieved significant milestones in his career, including the successful launch of Insight Channel in the HD on the esteemed Geo platform and securing a co-production deal with All India Radio, the world's largest radio broadcaster. With a strong business acumen, he is recognized for his branding and marketing techniques. He is a leader in projects with high revenue potential and quick returns, and his expertise extends to embracing digital media platform for effective marketing and promotions. So Amitabh sir contributions have been acknowledged through numerous awards and accolades, and he has also served in jury member for prestigious radio and TV industry awards. Additionally, he holds a postgraduate diploma in media and public relations and effective communications in tourism marketing. He maintains excellent relationship with mid-sized and large corporations, both in India and overseas. His outstanding contributions to society through media have been recognized by organizations such as PSD Chamber of Commerce, All India Radio, Akashvani, UNICEF, SOCHM, IKEA, and Limca Book of Records. He also has delivered sessions at esteemed educational institutions and has been actively involved in media landscape, judging notable industry awards. So today he will be discussing with us about his life journey. So let us hear from him. Welcome Amitabh sir, the platform is open and now over to you.
Thank you very much, Jitenji. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, good evening to everyone, whoever is listening to us. Thank you very much to have me over here in your platform. It's indeed a pleasure, and what a nice and long introduction that you gave me. I was listening to it. Obviously, it was me, but yes, it was quite long. So I
I
think as we discuss,
I
we will
think, sir,
discuss.
I've tried to justify adding all the details, but I think the experience you hold is really immense, and I could only share few of the things from there. But we would be talking about them in detail when it comes further. So, sir, let's take it from here. First thing I'd like to know from you is like, how did your past life has affected the person you actually wanted to be in your life and what you are?
It's very strange. I'll divide this question into two parts. One is my student life, where I was a average student in the beginning, and I used to be very average student. In fact, I used to fail in maths and science, which I couldn't get in my head ever. I used to call that right from beginning that I'm Kalaka Pujari. So art and culture was always fascinating to me, and science and maths were. I'm still weak in maths. So somehow, later part of my schooling, when I got the jhatka of life that I'll keep failing if I don't secure good marks, I changed my stream and then I started progressing, and in fact, I did very well. So while leaving the school, I was one of the toppers of the school and probably the best student of the session those years when I passed out. In fact, I also nominated as a captain of my school, so that gave me good leadership quality in the beginning. So very strangely, I decided not to go to college. I joined my first job right from my school only at the age of 19, and that job was into the hospitality industry. I joined Taj Group of Hotels initially, and I stayed there for 6 years. Hotel was very tough because you got to work for almost like 12 to 15 hours, and that right age, it was a kind of a very good grounding for me to learn and understand the basics of life. So I would say, yeah, my past life gave me good, and I still claim in my talks and my interviews that was my real MBA. In practical sense, when you actually be on the battleground and learn how to pass your life and how to take lessons from your life, that is what goes long way in your life. So that was my past life, and then gradually I shifted to media, and I started my journey from Times of India, where I was executive, and then I reached a higher up ladder, and I guess in less than 4 years I was the national manager of BBC, taking care of India and South Asia, and then I launched Aaj Tak news channel and Headlines Today, and then I was the one who took Aaj Tak internationally also. Then I joined world's largest media company, which was Walt Disney, as a director. So yes, life was quite slow, but as you move forward, you learn a lot of lessons and learn from your life. And I was very focused in my approach as to what to do and what not to do. Then I launched my own company in 2006, and I'm still running my own company. So that's my short, abridged version of my past life to present.
Right. And in one of the interviews, you also mentioned that you wanted to be a news person initially when you were young.
My dad was a journalist, and I wanted to be a journalist.
Okay.
As and anyone in Indian household, you look at your father as your role model.
True.
And besides the role model, I was very fascinated to have my press card. So that was my biggest temptation to join media. For some reason, I never used my press card ever in my life, but yeah, I wanted to have a press card. So, and media is something which actually resonate with my personality, because I was very talkative, I was very inquisitive to know things, and I thought probably that is the best profession to be in. And when I got the chance, I got into media.
Right, sir. So now if I talk about things you are passionate about in your life, so what are those things, and what is the role of motivation and inspiration in your life?
See, as I said, my first job was in the hospitality industry. In hotels is 4 walls. It's just a periphery of the space that you operate in. And my childhood was also very basic. I'm from a middle class background. So I actually wanted to travel the world. And I remember when I was a child, I used to go to these embassies to collect the literature from them about their countries and know how they are. And when we were child, those days it was very easy to go to any embassy and ask for any information that you need, and we used to have a lot of these literatures about that particular country. So I always had this fascination to travel to those locations when I grow up, and that was one thing which was very strong in my personality. And I thought probably when I grow up, I should make myself so strong that I should go to those locations and locales that I used to watch, read, and see those days. And I practically did exactly the same. So I guess I'm 52 right now, and I'm almost running into my 7th passport. So you can imagine how much I would have traveled.
Right. So that is really interesting, because things you are passionate about in your life, you always strive to achieve that. That's really wonderful. So on to this further, like you have more than 3 decades into the corporate, and now you are working on your own business. So on to this further, like what kind of roles and responsibilities you managed, and how you got into like starting your own venture. So what you are doing there as well?
See, when I started on my own, my last corporate job was director in Walt Disney in 2005-6. I realized at that age, I was what, about 35 something. I realized that beyond that, what will you grow and where will you go? So it's
Right.
better to reinvent yourself, because it's very important in life to reinvent yourself time and again, and challenge your own self to take new responsibility and new roles. And I thought it was a good time when I decided to call quits to my corporate job and start on my own. So when I started, because I was from a media background, I realized that a lot of foreign channels were quite eager to find a footprint in India. And since I had a very good encyclopedic knowledge about the Asian landscape, I thought probably I could be a great help to those broadcasters to help them. And by grace of God, I had a good name also. So with my networking, with my name, with my work, I could easily get a lot of good assignments. I initially worked with the Chinese government for 1 year during Beijing Olympics, and then I was advisor to the Dutch government for almost 6 years, where I actually worked in the radio and digital space, which actually was very new to me. And since then, I was basically a television guy, but because I got into the radio, I made a good mark, and I'm still quite active in the radio space. And wherever I get a chance, I try to do, because in India, very few people are there who have a good knowledge about international radio service. And because of my own experience, I could gather that information and that knowledge right then, which is actually helping me right now. So I actually challenge myself to learn newer things, to do something different, and that is where I am right now.
Right, interesting. And since you have worked with media as well as the broadcasting, like channels who are coming to India, not only that, and you have also worked with All India Radio to launch some project overseas, I guess.
See, when I was with the Dutch government, I was particularly working with the Radio Netherlands worldwide, and All India Radio is the world's biggest radio broadcaster, with almost reaching 99.97% of the Indian population. And
Right.
as you know, Indian population is now the first population in the world, beating China. So imagine that scope we had. And very surprisingly, this is what 12, 15 years back, I got to know that All India Radio never worked with any international broadcaster until that point. They did some work with BBC and Deutsche Welle from Germany, but they never worked on a consistent manner. And I thought it would be a great opportunity for me, being an Indian, if I can convince the Indian government and the Dutch government to have some kind of a co-production program. And it took me a little while to, beat the bureaucracy, and obviously to convince both the governments to at least start something of that sort. And I did succeeded quite well. And that program was based on science and technology, which ran almost for 2 years. And it was the first co-production of All India Radio and Radio Netherlands, which actually went on the Indian hookup on All India Radio, and international hookup with 180 countries across the globe.
Great, wonderful. So you always strive for like identifying challenging tasks and responsibilities and overachieving them.
Yes, indeed. That was
Wonderful,
my
sir.
vision. Yes.
So since you have been in business now, look, like if I ask you for next 5 to 10 years, what would be your vision, mission, and goal for your business?
See, post-COVID, a lot of things have changed. I would start with changes in media. The television itself, the viewership, what it used to be, had gone down drastically because of the emerging technologies and the new platforms which are emerging, like OTT and all that. Yes, I mean, watching television is not the same what it used to be. We used to have one term called appointment viewing, which means that if 9 o'clock there is a serial coming or a program coming, people used to wait for it at particular
Yes.
9 o'clock. Now that is not there. Like when the series come on OTT at 12 in the night, people do the binge watching, which is a new word, that they actually see the entire series the entire night and they are over. You don't have to wait for the next week for the next episode to come. So they actually watch the entire series in one night. This is one small example of how television is changing. So when and post-COVID, as I said, there are a lot of changes, and I realize all that. Then I decide. I also have a habit of trying something new every now and then, which is also very important part of your career. I mean, I did a lot of things. I mean, if we had time, I could have talked in length as to what all I did. But to give you example, very recently post-COVID, I realized that there is no point putting your heart heart and soul into television so much as I was involved. So I decided to do something new, and there is something new which I started very recently. Not even a quarter has passed, but I'm getting very good result. What I did is that I actually collaborated. Now, post COVID, one thing which has changed globally is that it's a era of collaboration. Now, unless until you are collaborative, you cannot grow as you could have grown in the past. So
True.
the collaboration is the key, right? You those days are over when you could be on your own and you can do a lot of other things all by yourself. I think the order of the game is that collaboration is the mantra to have good success. And I was very fortunate to find a very good partner. So what I did is that I wanted to actually start something on content side, on the learning and development. And the person that I found, Vandana Saxena, she's a quite well-known personality in learning and development. She is quite well-known over last two and a half decades and done extensive work. And she's very strong in the creative side. I'm very strong in the marketing side and my own networking. So we decided that why don't we club our own energies together and do something which is the order of the game. Like just to give you example, very small example, we decided to do school to campus kind of a program. You know what is happening right now is that school is teaching you the basic curriculum and whatever is advised by the government on or CBSE or whatever, but
Yes.
they are not taught actually when they go out of the school to attend any college how the life should be. There is a gap. Similarly, when they graduate from the college and they search for a job, now actually when they search for a job and they get the job, the gap in between is not taught to them. What is taught to them is this the basic education what they are doing, whether it's a BA, BSc or whatever XYZ course, but how to face that challenge of getting into the job and what all you should be careful is not actually taught to them. So there is a need gap which we thought is need to be filled up by the experts, and that is exactly what we wanted to pinpoint, that if we can train those, whether it's a school going kid or a fresh graduate, or maybe in a corporate life, if you take a normal worker also, there is a lot of things. These days the attrition has grown like many. I mean, people don't work for 6 years, 10 years, 20 years like earlier how it used to be. Now
Right.
people change job every second or third year in order to gain the professional success from one level to another. So unless until you stick to the job and you actually grow with the company, you miss out a lot of things. And in the long run, those things are very, very harmful for your own growth. That is exactly what we thought that we should address and do certain effect, programs and workshop, and also address with the advancement of the technology. Social media is growing. Many people strangely don't know how to use social media also.
True.
Very, very strangely, everybody has a Facebook account, LinkedIn account, Instagram account, but they don't know how to use it. And that is exactly what we thought, that we should be the front runner to actually tell people as to how to use this for their own benefit also, not for the entertainment purpose, but also to benefit themselves. So this is exactly
Right.
what I thought I should do, and I'm actually on the way to do that, and I'm getting very good success also. Let's see, with best wishes from our friends and everyone, I'm sure we'll do very well.
Yes, sir, definitely. The work you are doing related to like nurturing and educating people on the front role and responsibility that they would be delivering on when they join the company as a newcomer. So the most
Right.
important thing, what you rightly pointed out, is people leaving their job quite often. So once
Right.
they understand the culture of the company, they understand the role and responsibility well, so they would be able to do well in the company as well.
Right.
That is the problem area as of now. But since you are working and there are other like trainers and coaches working on the same area, definitely this will be like soon be not be a problem. It will help newcomers to manage things well. So if I talk about the most important life lessons you have learned from your personal and professional journey so far, so what are the 2 or 3 things you would like to highlight here?
I would say very practical things, in today's world, and I realized this almost like 20 years back. It's very important to be in the limelight or in the news of doing something new, because everybody's working hard. Now, in media, and because I'm a branding guy, I feel that it's very important to beat your own drums as to what you're doing. At least tell people as to what you're doing, because if you do not tell people, nobody's going to get to know as to what you're doing, and you'll be out of sight, out of mind. So it's very important to do your own self branding as well. That's point number one that I've learned. Second thing, when you actually tell people that what you're doing, it's not boasting, it's just the information that you're telling or you're sharing to the people what you are up to. And if you do that, you actually increase your own power to do much better, because you never know who could be help to you in the whole wide world, who is reading about you or who is doing. You'll be very surprised. I'll take example of LinkedIn. I mean, 2006, I actually got LinkedIn over LinkedIn, and it's almost so many years. I have about 30,000 people, and I used to travel abroad very often until a few years back. And I used to meet a lot of people and made such a good contact that I'm actually working with those set of people still. And imagine I actually made a virtual contact with those people and end up finally working with them in person. Now, I haven't traveled much lately because of the COVID and a lot of other situation. But I think sharing information is most important thing as far as lessons are concerned. Second thing, I would say it's very important to have right set of people on your side. Your family is the first foremost important thing that you have to have. Family support, because you can do anything and everything unless you cannot do actually anything and everything unless until you have a support of the family. So it's very important to have family on your side, and also certain knowledgeable friends whom you can relate to or who can understand you better. That's the second lesson I've learned in my life, and I'm very fortunate to have some great people across the globe as my friends, mentors, whatever you wanted to call them. But they're great support. And third and last thing is that one should be very happy in life. Unless until you're happy, you cannot spread happiness. Everybody is sad, everybody is going through some stress in life. But the idea is not to share that stress, because ultimately stress attracts stress. So it's very important to smile and spread smile. And that's the last thing which I've learned all these years.
Really wonderful thing. And the thing, personal branding you just spoke, is really important, not only for us but for everybody who are in business, who are in jobs, to create themselves visible to the audience which they are targeting. Actually really helps.
Yeah, right.
So now, sir, I'm coming on to the important thing which I was having in mind when I first spoke to you. So how is the media and broadcasting industry adapting to the rapid advancement in technology and shift towards digital platforms, and what strategies are being implemented to stay relevant in the evolving landscape?
See, we all knew. Let me take you back. I don't know if you remember when TV started in India. Earlier, it used to be Doordarshan. There
Yes.
was no satellite channel. 91 was the first Gulf War when it erupted. CNN was the first channel. And 95, 1995, you had ZTV, LTV, and a couple of new Prime Sports, MTV. All these channels came up. So I think it was very important for them. Initially, if you know, we used to have a channel limitations. Your TV used to be capable of only getting 10 to 12 channels, and later on all digital channel and the set-top boxes. Then came the time when those big TV boxes are like history now, and the flat TV comes. LCD TV came in to the picture. Then 4K, and then 8K. Now people are talking. Internet speed has become, initially I remember 128 kbps was the good speed to call broadband, but now it's like 1 GB, or at least 100 Mbps is the good speed as far as broadband is concerned. So
Yes.
everything changes with the technology, and TV is not a alien science. That also actually adopted to the changes, not only on the technological side but also on the content side. Like if you remember, earlier it used to be a lot of big programming chunks which used to come. Now it's a short form. Even the movies, if you remember, earlier movies used to be 3 hours or maybe longer. Now the movies are about hour and a half maximum, or maybe 2 hours at best. So everything changes as per the requirement. People are very fast. Let me give you another example of the news. Earlier people used to watch news on the television, but now people are watching news on the go, on their YouTube, on various platforms, and a lot of other platform owners have come who have started their own channel. Now I also say one more thing, that everybody is broadcaster. You are also broadcaster because you're broadcasting your own channel. I'm also broadcaster because I'm running my Facebook page or in LinkedIn page. So everybody is a broadcaster, everybody is generating content. Now, how you disseminate the content and how much is the consumption of that content is the most important thing. And based on that content, your consumption will vary. Now, I can be viral in 1 day or 2 day, but I cannot be viral every day. That's another example. Or another example is that people who are not very highly educated also are starting their own YouTube channel and their Instagram channel, and they have millions, and they're actually earning good revenue, which is actually crossing more than lakh or 2 lakh or 3 lakh. So education doesn't matter these days. What matters is that as to how much you are understanding the need of the people to fulfill that, and if you are able to fulfill that, you will have the consumption from the people and you will earn accordingly.
Correct. So content is the key, we can say.
Content was the king and content is the king.
Right, sir. So onto this, if I ask you, like, what is the current challenges and opportunities facing the media and broadcasting industry, particularly in terms of content distribution, audience engagement, and revenue generation?
See, there are three aspects. One, distribution. Earlier, it used to be cable. Then came the DTH, and then came the in between. There was a digital TV via set-top box. Then came DTH, and then your OTT platform. If you see, the television boxes was this big. Now the flat TV is like very thin. It's like as thin. Similarly,
Right.
those boxes were very broad earlier. It is like going short and short. Now your TV, your mobile can stream content on your television. You can, I can switch on my TV on my command, on my voice command. On my voice command, my television channel will change the channel and it will show me the content that I wanted to watch.
Right.
So that kind of challenge is over. What is more challenging is the content generation, because likes of the people is changing minute by minute, or rather second by second. People may like something right now, they may not like very same thing very next minute, because they will have another choice to see another content which will be more likable and watched by those people. So I think content generation is the most important challenges right now. And second thing is that interactivity has grown many-fold. Earlier TV was monologue. I remember when we were child, or when we were learning television, it used to be called idiot box. I don't know if you heard. Now it is actually a smart TV. So from idiot, it has become a smart. Similarly, the content which was a very, when you watch, old serials, I'm sure if you go to the YouTube and try to put Malgudi Days or see Fauji or some old serial, look at the quality of the programming done those days and look at the programming done nowadays. There is a lot of visual effect, there is a lot of sound. Everything is like, very, very crisp and short. The format has gone very, very smaller right now. Earlier, the format was very, very long. Because I judge a lot of international awards, I have seen drastic changes in the programming over the years. Now, programming is made with the agenda. They have a vision in their mind that this is what needs to be addressed. So, the production is also happening, keeping those points in your mind that it has to go to certain awards, it has to go and fill up the certain categories, it has to win certain awards and win certain recognition. Those days were not there earlier. So those are the challenges. And if you're a smart production guy or a smart filmmaker or a documentary maker or whatever you are making, you will not survive the longer game, because the challenges are very, very high. You need to keep yourself abreast with the technology as well as the taste, and do the formatting of your content accordingly. There are multiple formats also. It's not that you made one thing for television and it is only running on television. There are multiple platforms also right now. So you have to take care of all those aspects, and those are the challenging points.
Right. That's really interesting one, because what is happening is the content which we used to see earlier now is entirely changing. So we are inclined towards fast moving content, we can say. So things which are moving fast on, like we have moved on from 1 day, like from 5 day matches to 1 day matches, then now 1 day matches to 3 hours matches. So same content on the internet is also moving fast. past, we used to watch long movies earlier. Now we are very much interested in short movies, which can be
The
very
attention,
1 hour.
the attention span of a viewer is gone down drastically. People
Yes.
want something quick, and that is why the formats are getting smaller and smaller.
Right, sir. So that's really interesting, sir. Now, if I talk about the rise of streaming services over OTT platforms, that is reshaping the traditional broadcasting model, and what impact does they have on content production, advertising, and audience consumption habits? So, how it is creating an impact on our life?
See, there are two aspects of revenue generation. One is advertising, and the second is subscription model. If you see earlier, the subscription model was very less. Good old days, cable was the only thing which was there, and cable operator were actually having 100 connection, and he used to declare only half of it, or maybe less than that, and the broadcaster used to get very minuscule part of it. Advertising was not that. Advertising was very strong those days. Now, if you see most of the OTT content, it's with very less advertising, but it is very strong on the subscription model. Like,
Yes.
I have subscription to most of the DTH. Like, every month I pay Netflix about 700 rupees or 650 rupees every month. Similarly, I pay 999 for Prime for a year. So most of the OTT platforms are about thousand within thousand for a year. But Netflix is the most important or most expensive one. But if you see, most of the OTT platforms are with the subscription model. So their revenue opportunities are actually with the subscription model and less with the advertising, which used to be the reverse in good old days. So
Yes.
people are actually earning from the subscription model. Point one. Point two, these OTT platforms, depending on their subscriber base, also sell the platform to various, movie makers or documentary makers or whatever. So if you see all those movies which are actually getting released on the theatrical order are actually on the OTT within a month or so, and they do pay a very heavy price to make them available on their platform because they have a sizable audience on their platform. So there are multiple revenue streams which were not there earlier, which is actually there. And as technology is progressing, it's going to change more further. So I guess your guess would be as good as mine. What would happen in the future? Because nobody knows as to how the whole thing, like Chat GPT was not the word until 3 months back or 4 months back. It has become a household name right now, and people are
Correct.
actually taking advantage.
Every content creator is using now.
Yes, but the smart thing is that you shouldn't depend on it. You should have your own creativity, because the creativity will die. How much AI will do? AI will do up to a level. That's what we teach in the content side with Vandana. A lot of people ask this: will the content generator will be passed with AI infusion into the society? And we always say no. AI is not going to kill you, because AI is just a tool to help you out. And similarly, it
Yes.
goes to the content creator also. You cannot depend on the AI tools. Yes, more and more AI tools are coming. Google is coming up with something better than what it is available right now. And as I said, as technology also changes every minute. So who knows what will happen 2 years down the line?
Definitely. And also, if we see the OTT platform these days, they are making money, but still they are struggling for profitability as well on the other side.
Yep. It is because the projections that they have and the subscription model is not going in tandem of their own chart that they would have made as far as the business plan is concerned. And they keep trying to do certain new things. Like Netflix, when they launched, they were charging about 1,000 rupees or 999 for a subscription model, which was there for very many years. And then Netflix realized that they are actually not making a dent into the minds of the people, and then they came up with another offer of having 149 subscription, which you can see one television set on one subscription model.
Right.
655 is like highest model, where you can actually see the UHD content, 4K content, and you can have 5 multiple TV sets into that. So it depends as to what is your need and what exactly you want in life, and
Right.
what you're offering, which is the most important thing. Because
Correct.
ultimately, we discuss content is the king. Ultimately, wherever you get the most important things, that will be the mantra of the life.
So anyhow, it is helping the audience actually at large. So they are getting
Indeed.
benefited out of it. Competition is there, everything is there. The ultimate the winner is the king user of the services.
Indeed.
Right, sir. So now, if I ask you, like your take on success, what do you feel about it? What is your thoughts around success?
See, success is a very relative term. What is success? I mean, every individual will have a success ka different meaning. For some, success will be money. For some, success will be fame. For some, success will be happiness in the family. For some, the perspective and the whole approach will be totally different. For me, what is success is ultimately how happy you are and how many people are happy because of you is the success. How many people you can make smile because of your own personality. How good you are in your family. How good, happy, probably how happy you are outside is the success. If you're not happy, nobody will be keen to be with you. My friends, whoever likes me because I'm very positive person. So that's my success. So being positive is also success. Like
Definitely.
despite of whatever odds you're facing in your life, if you're very positive, you win half the battle. I mean, everybody, as I said, is going through stress, business, work, money, this, that. But why you're spoiling your today? I mean, why you're worried about tomorrow? Tomorrow will also happen very same way that is how it's happening today. You should be happy, you should be positive. So for me, success is obviously I should have a good family, I should have a good car, I should have a good house. I have all that. But
Yes.
what is success for me is how happy I am right now and how happy I can keep most of the people who are part of my life is what success is.
Right.
So my
Really,
success mantra is different.
really wonderful, sir. Because keeping yourself happy is one big thing these days. Seeing so many like problems, anxiety, stress, tension, all these things. If you are happy in your own self, that is one big thing. And if you keep people around you happy, also, that is a great achievement. So really important and wonderful thing. So now, sir, if I ask, I usually ask this for viewers and listeners, basically. But now, since you've been in media and broadcasting industry so long, and I'm asking this on the perspective of the content creators today. So, any message, advice you would like to share with our viewers and listeners, specifically for the content creators?
I can definitely answer you. And as I said, I keep judging these lot of content awards over last decade and a half, almost like 10-15 years. I've been judging Promax. I've been judging a lot of these international awards, and I've been privy to most of the contents globally, at least for the Asian region, and especially for India. And I said in the between that the content quality has improved drastically. So everybody is making content. I also gave you example of people who don't know how to talk are also making money because of the content.
Yes.
They don't know word of English, but they are earning into lakhs because of the content. So ultimately, what is important for the content creator to bear in mind is what you're making as an output, how much it can please people, or how much adaptability and the acceptability it can have with the viewer or with the listener or whatever you're making is the most important thing. You should forget what is pleasing for you. You should think by large what would be liked by the people. And please understand that the likes of people keeps changing every minute. So you have to be slightly progressive in your thought process, not thinking tomorrow, but thinking day after tomorrow, so that whatever you are making has to have some kind of a novelty and uniqueness to survive. Point number two, it's also very important, and because you're also content creator, right? You're also making content and assimilating and working hard on a weekday to collect a lot of these personalities to take their interviews. I think one important thing which you can do is to be interactive. When you become interactive, social media is there to make you very, very, how you can, just to give you a small example, suppose if you have a personality coming in for, obviously you plan, right? Much in advance, at least weeks in advance. So if you have certain personality, even if that personality is not very well known, shoot a, mailer or shoot a post on your social media that you're having so-and-so with so-and-so background, what question people should ask. So people feel that they are part of it rather than you deciding, right? right now what is happening is that you are deciding alone as to what should be the question, and whatever you're thinking is right, you're asking me that. Imagine if you would have gone slightly more wider and made it kind of an interactive platform, or probably open technology is allowing you to actually open this chat to the people, and people can walk in and join, and they can ask questions from, I'm not a big personality, but anybody can, come online and ask me from anywhere in the world. So
Yes.
imagine technology is actually supporting you. It's just that how wide you can think in your canvas, it's in your own hand. And my advice to the content creator is to take care of the technology, see how technology can help you without any cost, because ultimately you don't want to incur any cost, because you wanted to create a content with minimalistic cost, and you wanted to see that it has a very good result, it has a very good likes, it has a very good views at the end of it ultimately. And obviously similarly, if you make it interactive, imagine if two people are taking part, or rather four people are taking part, those four can also put the same post on their wall, and similarly it goes from 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16. So this is how it grows. So you have
Right.
to see the multiplier effect of the whole thing. And obviously whoever personality, like I'll take your example as a content creator because we are talking, and similarly anybody who is listening to this can also think in their own domain. But if I'm talking you can actually make it not only the public. Once you put this interview in public, I don't know what is the views of the last interviews, but if you request the person to put it on their social media, everybody will have a sizable numbers, right? It could be few hundred, could few thousand, or could be few lakhs also, could be millions also. So depending of the personality that you're choosing, if you make it slightly more interactive with them also, it would be a good case for you to expand your views from one number which is there to a different number what you can actually have.
Right, right. That will really help. Right, sir. I must say it was really a wonderful discussion with you today. You have shared your story, how you started your career, what all you did. So that was really inspirational and motivational. And the work you have done for media and broadcasting industry as a whole was really immense. Like you helped so many channels to not only start their journey, but also to like help them grow in their journey as well in India as well as the Southeast Asia region. So that was really wonderful thing. And now you are working on your own company, and you've been guiding and helping supporting media's channels and companies to launch their services in India and the other regions also. Really inspirational. And also now you have started your journey as a trainer, coach, guiding young generation on how they can be valuable for the organization, not only for the organization but for themselves as well, which is really important. So I really thank you for your time and energy here, and what work you are doing for the youth is really helpful. So thank you so very much, sir, for your time and for your energy spent here today. I really appreciate, and looking forward to invite you again soon to discuss on how we can create more effective youth for the corporates. That could be one topic which is coming to my mind right now. After discussing with you, we will talk on that as well. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much to have me as a guest in your program, and it was obviously an honor. And I accepted without a wink because I thought it would not only be beneficial to you but also to the people who are watching it. And I hope this journey continues and we are able to help each other. So thank you
Sure,
very
sir.
much, and thank you very much for all the viewers to log in and watch this interview. Thank you very much.
Sure, sir. I will also share your social media link along with the interview so that people can be in touch with you, take your help and guidance, because you've been like really wonderful person and supporting so many youth that will really help them. Thank you so
Would
much,
be my
sir.
pleasure.
And guys, don't forget to check that out too. Thank you so very much, everyone, for watching and listening. I hope you all must have gathered a lot of valuable information and enjoyed watching it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a good time. Thank you, and bye bye. Thank you, sir.